$17.50 for a bag of chips?
This is ludicrous.
Howdy y'all, so welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to talk about claw machines. I don't know what it is, but lately I've been really obsessed with games, like old school games, old games from our childhood, all those types of things. I feel like it's like healing my inner self, and it's like undoing some of that trauma we all got from Squid Game. Comment down below if you guys have seen all 3 seasons. I mean, that's a story for a different day, you guys. But we got to get into like a little bit of the history of claw machines. So, of course, we know that claw machines are a staple in Japan. Like everywhere you go, you'll find whimsical things like just all types of arcade games. I went to Sanrio Pure Land, which I want to do a video about soon, but they even had a claw machine arcade in there, which I found really interesting. The first claw machine actually was around in 1890, with the first patented machine being in 1926. And this was actually in the United States. I would expect Japan, but I was really surprised to find out that it was in the US. And the first machine was made out of glass and wood, and it had a swinging shovel that moved back and forth so that people could get candy out of the machines. And these were like everywhere, drugstores, near bus stops, everywhere you can think of, there was a claw machine game. And what ended up happening is that they actually switched the prizes from being just candy to silver dollars and nickels, which is crazy when you think about it, because I feel like that would put the claw machine at risk for being like broken into, stolen out of. It's kind of surprising to me that they put money inside, because at this point, we're not just talking about teddy bears and candy and all those things that don't really have a ton of value. We're talking about actual money that you can use to go do whatever you want with it. And around this time, if you think about the 1920s, a dollar in 1920 would be equal to about 16.15 today. So back then, like that was enough for you to do like buy a meal with, okay? Like if you can get a couple of those silver dollars or even a few nickels, you were doing pretty good back then. Eventually the government would find out about this, and they were like, oh no, you will not. So they passed the Johnson Act in 1951, which prohibited the use or sale of gambling devices. So this kind of put a damper on the claw machine party, because I mean, they couldn't use it for a while. And so people did actually fight this. They tried for several decades to try to get rid of these laws. And at first it started off as, well, you can use them as long as you follow these rules. And then eventually the government just kind of let it go. By the 1970s, they were back for the kill. And they would put it in all types of places, including Pizza Hut, which actually is kind of what helped put Pizza Hut on the map. So it was kind of like a win-win for Pizza Hut. People got their pizza, and they also got to play a couple games while they were there. Now, the elephant in the room when you think about claw machines is like, does the game cheat? Because I know that when I was younger, I was almost never allowed to play claw machines because, I mean, my chances of winning were really low. And no matter how many times I tried, I very rarely won things as a kid. So the question is, does the game actually cheat, or do we actually have chances of winning? Well, I actually found out that the win rate is actually in between 10 and 30%. And there's also other factors that affect the win rate. So the operators can actually adjust the claw strength. So sometimes they can put it on a low setting, and sometimes they can put it on a strong setting. And some of the operators even go as far as making the strong setting only being available 1 out of 10 times, or even 1 out of 20 times. And honestly, if it's 1 out of 20, I feel like you might as well not even play. Now, with that being said, we can't always make the operators the bad guys in this situation. Sometimes you're just picking the wrong target, or perhaps a certain item can be picked up a little easier in different positions and things like that. There's a lot of different reasons as to why someone may not win these games. So you guys already know me. I had to put these ideas to the test, and I went to a claw machine arcade in Chicago. Basically how it works is that they use a token system. For every dollar that you give them is worth 1 token. So $20, 20 tokens. Pretty simple concept. And they have about 5 different machines that cost 5 different prices. So you have the 1 token machines, 2 token machines, 3 token machines, 4 token machines, and 6 token machines. And we started off with just giving the operator $20 right off the bat. And for every 20 that you spend in this instance, they were giving you an extra 10 coins, which was actually pretty nice because it kind of gave us an incentive to keep playing. So whereas typically it would be $1 for token, this time we kind of got a little bit of a discount, which was nice. The first half of games, so the first 12 games we played, we didn't do too hot. I'm going to be honest. We only got 1 prize, which was really interesting considering how much we had just spent, but we only got 1 prize and we didn't even really want that prize. So we were like, we're not giving up now. So we decided to give them another $20, and with the sale, we ended up with 30 tokens. So we played another 12 games, and this time we won 4 extra prizes. So it really just seems to be like a coin toss as to like how often you'll win. Because honestly, some of these games we played multiple times and never got anything out of it. And then the next person played and they would win that prize. So it just kind of depends. It's all up to chance, really. We determined that in the end, we had played 24 games. And I will say this, we did have our baby cousin with us this time, and he's 5. And he played a few of the games, and we all know how kids play games. So it made it like a little bit, if I had played all of these games as an adult, or if I had just me and Q playing, I don't know if we would have done better. But by having him play some of the games, that's kind of where we lost some of our money too. But, kids got to have fun. Out of those 24 games, we essentially won 5 times. So this would make our win rate 20.83%, which is pretty accurate to the 10 to 30% win rate that they usually have. So this all made me start thinking, what is the least amount of money I could spend here to get a prize and go home? Because sure, we won the first round, but not everyone's always going to be lucky. There's a lot of variables in this. So how much would your average person have to spend in order to win something? And I did some math. Typically, in a perfect world, we would all go in there and play the one token games and just run in there, play those 5 games, spend $5, and hopefully come out with 1 item. But this isn't a perfect world, so we have to account for a lot of different variation in between that. We'd get $17.50. So you would have to spend $17.50 to get 1 item. Now, honestly, I don't know that any of the prizes were worth more than $1. Facts. So they were like food claw machines. And honestly, $17.50 for a bag of chips sounds really steep. But, you think about like the stuffed animals that were there. And you guys, honestly, I don't know that those were worth more than $1 or $2 either. But I could kind of justify that a little bit better if someone was really into something that they saw and they just really liked it. The other interesting thing that I noticed was that you could also trade in your prizes in this. So they're adding in an extra perk to this where they're allowing you to actually get something you might actually want by trading in your prizes. The downside to this, though, is that personally, I don't think the prizes behind the counter were any better than the prizes that were actually in the claw machines. So honestly, this is a good scam. I feel bad. Okay, let's not say scam. Business strategy. There we go. This was a good business strategy because essentially if you can get someone to trade in these stuffed animals for 1 item that's only worth the same amount as one of the 4 stuffed animals that you just traded in, well, it's kind of a win-win for the operator because they can go back and put those same stuffed animals back into the claw machine. So I kind of see how they can make a profit from that. Y'all, we didn't do no trading. We didn't do any trading. We just kept what we had and called it good. I let my cousin pick out the prizes that he wanted to keep for himself, things that he could be happy with. Of course, he picked the Batman and the faux Donald Duck, and he was happy for days. But I was still left with a few stuffed animals. What I decided to do was turn one into a makeup bag Honestly, you guys, I'm really proud of this. Like, you guys, look how cute this is. I love it. And it's honestly like a little mini souvenir of our mini experiment. So I got to be proud of it, you know. I just remove a little bit of stuff in and I put in a lining, as you guys can see, and we called it good. And instead of doing a zipper, you guys, honestly, I can't really sew like that. I can do basic things, but that's about it. So I didn't want to deal with putting in a zipper. So we did Velcro. Honestly, super secure. So I love it. I love it. So it makes everything worth it, you know. Anywho's, that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know down in the comments, what was your favorite arcade game? Did you like air hockey? Did you like to play claw machine games? Or were you a skee ball queen? Let me know down in the comments and let me know what other videos you might like to see in the future. And as always, stay lovely. I'll see you guys next time.